Hi, Jade here and welcome back to Tea Time TV. Today I am here to talk about the 100 at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Now today there's been an outpour of spoilers, panels, interviews, and I just want to break it all apart for you guys. Obviously this is going to be full of spoilers, so cover your ears, don't watch. I will be talking about the cast, their clothing, the panel. I will be talking about some of the interviews, some of the dynamics. I just really miss this fandom when we're on hiatus, and this is my way of keeping sane, talking to you guys about it. So comment down below, tell me what you think about all that has happened at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I personally think it was a wonderful day, much better than the last few years. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, clothing. Everyone looked a bomb as fuck. Excuse my language, but they did. Eliza was wearing her cat pantsuit, which was just fabulous and something I would also wear. So I loved that. Bob had an outfit change. I'm guessing that was either something Richard suggested because Bob said he was going to ask Richard, or it was something he came up with himself because it seemed pretty, like both outfits seem pretty Bob. I don't think he really needs fashion advice, but who knows. Lindsay, oh my god, that girl was a meal and a half today. I saw the pictures like first thing when I woke up at like 3 in the morning, and I was blown away. No one should be able to go out and look like that. That's illegal. It's illegal. Marie also looking like a snack. Amazing. She looked like she was in like really fancy pajamas, sort of. Not in like a bad way, but like she looked good. I was about to say Monty. Chris, I really liked his getup. It's the one he wears every single year, but he had really nice, bright, with a yellow, they were either yellow or orange shoes, and it was just, it was his outfit. It's him. I just love that Bob and Chris were both like with their backpacks today. Just like their little accessories. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Oh, Tassia, of course. I wish I could pull off something like all of the girls wore today. I do not have the figure for it at all. They all looked amazing. The guys look good too. Richard, I forgot to mention Richard. Richard looked bomb as usual. Even when he's decked out full in football gear, he looks great. I got you, boy. Well, yeah, that's the fashion lowdown on the 100 cast for you, so you're welcome. I suppose I'll just put pictures up here for everything from now on. I just assume I said that before I put the pictures up for all of their outfits. The next thing I wanted to do was watch the Sizzle reel with you guys, because that is the only thing I have not watched yet, and I've been waiting to do a review on the whole day to watch it, even though there was kind of spoilers for it, but not really a lot. I get the general gist of what it is, but I'm still really, really excited to see and hear it, as I am told is the most important part of it. But let's go.
Clark, tell me the story.
I'm tired.
Maddie.
Why don't you tell it to me this time?
Me? Really? Okay. Once upon a time, there was a castle in the sky. The people who lived there were scared of the ground below. But the castle was dying, so they decided to send the bad children down to the scary place to see if they could survive.
Oh, so Clark like tells her all the stories. This is my headcanon.
101, counting Bellamy.
101. Right. Anyway, they were alone, with no parents, so they did whatever the hell they wanted. Then, the monsters came out.
Oh, are we calling the ground as
Some
the
took
monsters?
the children.
Whoa,
Some
that's
took the children away
so
to
not
steal
okay.
their
Oh,
clothes.
okay, so we're talking all about all
One
the enemies in Joseph. That's a little better. I did not sign up for this
The
pain.
bad children fought back. And they realize that together, even bad children can do good things.
Who you are and who you need to be to survive are very different things.
They even began to see
There's a lot of Bellocs so
some
far.
of the monsters
Oh yeah, a little bit of
just
closer.
like them.
I swear fealty to you, Clark, come Sky Crew.
Luna.
This is our home now. We
Drow.
built this from nothing with our bare hands. We are grounders.
But when the parents came down to find their children, they did not understand this.
Oh, so the
This
parents
land
fucked it all up. Yeah,
is
that's probably
ours
correct,
now.
actually.
Resist,
Adults.
and you will be greeted by death.
They just made things worse.
She's not wrong.
The 100 fought for their land. They fought for their friends. Sometimes they fought against their own families. They tried to be the good guys, but then they realized there are no good guys,
Aww.
and
So
that they
much
weren't children anymore.
Stop. You may be the Chancellor, but I'm in charge.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. After all they did to survive, it turned out that the scary place was haunted by a monster they could not kill.
I'm acting like someone who just saved the world.
Because we did.
So they ran, and they found a place that could save them.
There might be a fallout shelter built to sustain thousands.
But they couldn't figure out how to share it until a hero rose from the ashes to unite them all.
Yeah, she did.
Octavia come Sky Crew is victorious. We are evil. We are one clan, and we will survive Prime Fire.
In the end, when the unkillable monster finally came, not everyone made it inside.
This is how we save our people.
Jasper.
8 warriors were forced to
some of
face
that
the
still
monster
hurts.
alone.
Raven, we need you to get us off the ground before the death wave hits. What do you say?
I say that death wave can kiss my ass. You got such a big heart, Bellamy. If anything happens to me,
Nothing is happening to you.
They fought like they never fought before, but it wasn't enough.
I got a place to go to.
Until one of the 8,
Hawk saved everyone's ass again.
climbed the highest tower to cast a spell, sending their friends back to the sky,
We renegade again.
just as the monster roared in. If she had to die to save them, then she would die. But she didn't, because she had magic blood. Only now, she was alone. Everyone she loved or cared about was gone, trapped under the ground, or lost in the sky. She thought she was the last person in the world, but she was wrong. She found another, the most badass, second most badass warrior on Earth. And they lived happily ever after.
Good story, Maddie.
Clark, what happens if the monsters come back?
Then we'll kill them all.
Alright. Well, there are a few things I took away from that. So there was a lot of Belloc in that. Like, I don't just have my rose-colored glasses on. It was like literally every third scene was them. So if that doesn't give you a little inkling that maybe it will happen next season, I don't know what will. And I think the only problem I have with Comic-Con and when the actors go to do interviews and stuff, it's still this really huge denial of what Belloc means in the show. I mean, I know Bob gets it, but even he's really, really careful while he's talking about it at San Diego Comic-Con. And I mean, you can't really deny that the show centers around these two. Like, even if you want to deny the romantic part of it, fine. But in the process, they're neglecting talking about Bellamy and Clark altogether as a dynamic. And that's really, like, it shows a lack of insight, well, to, like, what the fans are watching, and it makes us feel really stupid. And I don't really know how else to explain it other than that. It's just... It's gotten to a certain point where it's kind of ridiculous that they don't mention it after all the stuff that has happened, like about the radioing, you know, they're sort of brushing over that. Like, you don't just radio someone for like 2,199 days for no reason at all. Even if it is to keep sane, she chose to direct them towards Bellamy, and that means something. And it's just stuff like that that really gets to me. But either way, that Sizzle reel was really, really awesome. And season 4 was just such a good season. I don't think I could say high enough things about it. It definitely ties in with season 1 for me. Season 1 was absolutely the thing that grabbed me, and I didn't feel like I felt that again with any of the other seasons afterwards. But season 4 was like, yes, this is my show, these are my characters. I think season 5 might even possibly top that if they just keep going up from here. I don't really see any way they can go down again. I have really, really high hopes for season 5. And after today, the expectations are probably even higher. So I'm hoping they live up to those, you know, like there's a lot of potential, so much potential with this 6-year jump. And I just really hope they take the time to do that. And even so, I probably would have liked, you know, maybe 1 or 2 seasons to go through what happened in those 6 years. Kind of like they do with Arrow, even though the flashbacks got really old in Arrow. That's why I stopped watching. But another story entirely. I really would like them to spread out the flashbacks of those 6 years, because I think there's only been about 9 months between when they landed on Earth and when the Prime Fire came again. So that's a really short amount of time compared to all the time that has happened in the last 6 years, all the character development that's probably happened with all of them over this time, that you really need to delve into and get your fingers into to really understand the present day characters. So I'm really hoping that they don't just, you know, give you 1 or 2 and then you have to work it out from there. I want them to pay attention to this, and I want to be able to really understand the decisions they're making in present day, because they'll likely be very different than the ones they would have made 6 years ago. All of them have been stuck in this state of mind, which is just war, who are we going to fight next, and stuff like that, and they've never had time to relax, and now suddenly half of them are all stuck in a bunker together, half of them are all stuck in an airship together, and Clark is on her own and then has Maddie. So it's definitely, they're going to be very different people when we come back, but we need to see that lead up. Anyway, I'm totally getting off track. Panel. Overall, I thought it was, I've got notes here by the way, so if you see me look down, it's so I know I don't miss anything. Overall, I thought the panel was great. There was lots of laughs and lots of jokes between everyone. Lindsay was making everything into a sexual innuendo, as usual, which I loved. Richard was singing. Bob was really insisting that Bellamy should have a mustache. I think that's probably more of a personal want. I don't know if it's necessarily right for his character, but I think Bob knows that. I think he's just bartering for it. I'd like to know what Jason is asking Marie to do with her hair. Oh, there was a comment made in the panel where I think they're asked about Maddie, and Bob makes the comment like, oh yeah, we did better with her than we did with Charlotte. And I was like, So they're acknowledging that they are the parents of the delinquents and that this is a well-known fact between them, which I really love. I don't know if they're acknowledging, like, to all of the 100, but they're definitely acknowledging that they were to that small child and that they're going to be towards Maddie. I'm also really, really interested to see how the bunker thing goes, because there's a few mysteries there. Like, none of the adults were mentioned at all in this panel, and I'm sort of like, I know Isaiah is leaving, so spoilers for anyone who doesn't know that yet. I don't know if his character actually dies or not, or if he's actually leaving. But I think it's probably more likely he feels like Jaha has stretched on a bit too long, and I would probably agree with that. But as for the other adults, I think it's likely, because they've been in that bunker for such a long time, maybe there was a sacrifice that was made, sort of like that episode up on the Ark where they had to cull 300 people, which was very, very sad. But the same situation would probably have to happen in a bunker, because it was only equipped for about 5 years. So I'm really hoping I'm not right there, but we'll find out when they come out. It would be tremendously sad for Clark, because Clark can say to her mum, look, I understand what you go through with me now because I have Maddie. And that would be just such a beautiful scene, and, well, scenes, just seeing that dynamic change and Clark understanding how much her mother did for her and why her mother did the things she did for her. All in all, a fantastic panel. Everyone was super easygoing. It didn't feel tense. We saw the Bellark family again, which was really, really nice. I always forget their names, but they've appeared a number of times, and their baby is growing so fast, a toddler now, and the cast has kind of been following them too because they've seen them so much, and it's really, really sweet. I think it was Lindsay who yelled out, "That's Maddie!" She saw the couple dressed up as Bellark with the toddler, and I was like, how dare you, Lindsay? She was sort of like the MVP for Bellark. I think she's kind of taken over it because Devon's left. And, you know, someone's got her, so thanks, Lindsay. What else have we got here? Bob had an Access Hollywood interview that pretty much revealed that the reunion is going to happen episode 1, or some kind of conversation possibly between Clark and Bellamy, because he said that, I think he said, one, that the reunion is surprising and not how you think it would happen, and then he said a little bit later that he has read the first script. He says things change though between when you film it, and they're not filming till mid-August, I think. But he said things can change, but I think for now, in that first script, Clark and Bellamy do actually reunite face to face. And another thing he said is that they do actually address the radioing. So I'm guessing it's because Bellamy has actually been listening to them, or everyone's been listening to them, and they fought down to get down. And maybe the surprising thing is that Clark hasn't even realised they've landed. They just didn't land near her. So they've been travelling back to the green spot, and they find her. I think that's what's going to happen. Who knows? There's a lot of headcanons, there's a lot of possibilities, there's a lot of months between then and now for anything to build up or transpire. I'm just really excited for it, so I'm totally just shooting out theories. I mean, it's definitely the fact that Bob has said basically that they will reunite in that first episode. I don't know if I'm reading that wrong. You can tell me that I am, but that's what I got from that whole interview, piecing it together. Another thing I wanted to talk about was some of the cast dynamics during the entire thing. There's always a little bit of drama people make out of it, and a few things I wanted to address was, one, the first time Eliza was asked about Bellark. The name wasn't actually said. I'm pretty sure that the interviewer just said Bellamy and Clark. And, you know, they're already rolling their eyes into the back of their heads. Come on, guys. Like, you haven't even heard the question yet. They are a core part of the show. I know I've already emphasized this so much, but they're such a huge part of the show. You cannot ignore it or brush over those questions. I'm not saying you have to talk about them romantically, but you really do have to acknowledge that they are a big part of each other's lives, and they have been split by literally earth and space, and that is huge. So there was that with the interview with Marie, Lindsay and Eliza for that Belloc thing, and then later on there was a shoot, and Bob is really, like, he's a shy, uncomfortable, anxiety-filled person. One over here too, thanks. And he had to do a photo shoot, and with Eliza. So there's sort of this connotation of Belloc and also the pressure from all his friends to, like, be doing this shoot. And, you know, Lindsay's, like, yelling Belloc with her camera up, and of course he's going to be bashful, and of course Eliza's going to be weird about it too. Like, everyone else around them makes it weird. Like, it's an uncomfortable situation all in all. It's not because they don't like Belloc or because they don't like being friends. I mean, we saw them all day. They were pretty much talking 99% of the time. Like, they're friends. They've known each other for a long time, guys. We don't need to reconfirm this as Twitter thinks they have to, but it's just simply the fact of also, like, having on-screen chemistry can be so strong, and then when it comes off-screen, it's awkward because you kind of, there's this weird middle thing where you're like, you're them, but you're also yourself. So there's like the chemistry, and then there's like you guys who don't really have chemistry. It's weird. Acting is weird. I personally would not be able to separate the two, but professional actors are perfectly good at it, and I'm sure Bob and Eliza are too, but sometimes it can just get a little bit, like, when people don't know how to separate you from your characters, and when you're doing a photo shoot for promo, it's sort of, you're doing it for your characters, but you're also doing it as yourselves. So that's why it's really hard to, I think it's really hard to relax and sort of find yourself within all of that. Bob and Rich, oh, so gay. Basically, I don't know what else to say about these two. Richard's out there doing nip slips, and Bob's out there grinding up on him late at night at SDCC WB party. It was just, I have the video saved to my phone. I'll put it up here for your pleasure, but it's really just, it's something else. I have not seen this side of Bob Morley. Richard, sure. We've all seen this side of Richard, but Bob, fantastic. I want more of it, please. But just, I've really been liking the dynamics and the interviews. Like, most of them have been really, really positive, and I haven't felt it all uncomfortable like I did last year. And I think a big reason of that is because Bob didn't go last year, and Bellamy is my favourite, and also the second biggest character of the show. So there was just this huge hole in San Diego Comic-Con last year that felt uncomfortable and weird, and then Belloc shit happened, and shit went through the roof and hit the fan. Also, Tassia! She came onto the stage during the panel, and I was like, ah! So excited to see her. I know, of course, she's a series regular now, but I didn't even assume that she'd be coming with them to do the interviews and the panel. It's just so surreal that they're sort of put her in there as a main, and I'm really, really, really excited for her. And of course, I absolutely hate Echo, but I mean, 6 years, guys. That's a lot of time for someone to change and evolve. And I am totally open to wanting to like a character, and I think I could really like Echo. I don't know if I can forgive her for everything that she's done, but I don't think any of the 100 could do that either, or the Space Squad. I think it's going to take them a number of years before they can trust her, but I think it definitely would have happened in those 6 years. Like, she would have been drawn into that family. And I'm also really interested to see how Clark deals with that, considering she hasn't spent a lot of time with Echo, but all of the space crew would have. But regardless, I am really, really interested in where they're going to take Echo next season. That is a storyline I am absolutely here for. I'm really interested to see where Harper and Monty go. This is going on like 30 minutes of me just blabbering on. So I'm going to just go to my finale. All in all, I think it was such a fantastic day of promo for the 100 cast at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. I think it was a lot better than the past years. They gave away just enough spoilers to leave us wanting more, and it was well crafted and everyone was happy. I was happy, Twitter was pretty happy, and I can't wait for season 5, guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this little discussion of San Diego Comic-Con today. I will see you guys real soon for some Game of Thrones. I am currently editing episode 1. Sorry I'm late on that. It's been a really full week for me. Please let me know your thoughts and comments about today down below. Let me know your predictions for next season. Just leave it all down there. I can't wait to read it. Some of you guys always have such detailed answers and I absolutely love reading them. So leave all of that down there for me. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you very soon. Bye.